London, my friends. I literally just landed this morning. I am quite jet lagged, but for the first time ever, because I'm not a very comfortable flyer, I actually slept, which is just short of a miracle, trust me. Anyway, I'm back in London now, and I thought I would start this video because today is the start of my 7-day intermittent fasting tryout. Yeah. I've been asked to do this video for a long time. I also feel like intermittent fasting has become really mainstream. Even my parents are talking about it. You know, I feel like when your parents start talking about something, you're just like, right, that is mainstream, everyone knows about it, done. So I thought I would do this video, and actually what I'm going to do is record my personal experience, like how it feels for me in terms of like how much energy I have, how motivated I feel, how my body looks. So I'm going to give you a quick like physique update, am I less bloated, that kind of stuff, and also like whether or not it fits into my lifestyle. So my lifestyle is very busy, everything's different all the time, meetings get moved back and forth. For me it'll be really interesting because I'm kind of going into this very like open-minded, unbiased. I just want to see like how I experience things. I haven't yet looked at any meta-analysis, I haven't looked at any clinical trials. I just want to see how I find intermittent fasting, given that I eat very like intuitively. It will be different if you guys want to see it from a Science Explained video, which will be more based on what the science says, what clinical trials say, what meta-analyses say on the effects of intermittent fasting. And I feel like it's really important to separate something that is anecdotal and what our friends might say or what a YouTube video might say compared to what the actual science says. Just because someone says that they feel really good or things like that, like it's really hard to have like a really controlled environment where you're just exploring intermittent fasting and not perhaps like a calorie restriction or you've changed something. And usually when we do things ourselves, things aren't always that controlled. We interpret things wrong all the time. I do really want to do an intermittent fasting like Science Explained video, but to do that I need to know that you guys really want to see that. So if we can hit 25,000 likes, I will definitely do an intermittent fasting science of video. Any kind of like Science Explained videos, like the metabolism one, the gut health one, the fasted cardio one, those videos can take well over 40 hours. So I just want to make sure that it's something that you guys want to see. And yeah, so the outline of how this is going to work, I'm going to do like a 16-hour fasting window and an 8-hour feeding period from 10 till 6. In terms of calories, I'm going to keep those exactly the same. So I tracked what I was eating last week and took averages. So on average, I eat about 2,600 calories. In terms of training, I'm going to keep that the same. My training is always super varied. Because I'm going to be doing the marine physical fitness test in like 2 weeks, I need to be training for that, so I'm going to be training for that, and then I'm just going to keep my lifestyle the same, so we'll see whether or not it kind of works with that. Right, let's get this show on the road. It's day one, let's see how I get on. Also, make sure to give me a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit the little notification bell, and we'll get straight into it. So this is my physique on day one. Is anyone else getting like serious Ariel vibes? Like Little Mermaid vibes? It also is like very 80s. Call on me. Where are my little 500-gram baby weights? Okay, so I'm going to do a workout from cut today because it's 8 AM, I've got 2 more hours until I can have breakfast, and I don't want to think, I just want to know that I'm going to have a good workout. Am I ready for this? I don't know. Let's just see. How's it going? You good?
Yeah, I feel
alright. I feel a little bit drained, but I want to keep going. I'm feeling positivo. Okay, Mario's brother RJ is coming round tonight for dinner, but I had to make it super early because I have to eat before 6. So yeah, he's had to like rush over from uni, and we're gonna try and scare the living daylights out of him because he does it to me, I do it to him back.
I expect the worst.
Don't worry, Jane.
How would we expecting the worst? It's not going to do anything. What is that?
You know when it like sends shudders down your body?
This is the magic. Go again. Go again. Go again. Wow, where did that come from?
It's not fair, man. Then that's going to go in there.
So sorry. Explain this shot one more time.
Right, so that's going to go right in there, my friends.
Oh! You look absolutely shredded.
RJ's been bulking.
Can you edit that so it looks like I went?
You look absolutely shredded.
It's not that bad. The thing is, I'm not that bad.
What are you going for, Gav? Jeez. There goes that focus. Put a bit of backspin. Oh, wow. That's the coolest thing I've seen you do our whole relationship. Go.
Can you edit that to make that like that?
We've been playing for 15 minutes. I swear this is how many balls you start with.
Oh my. I feel like I've actually met my match. Like, RJ's who I'm supposed to be playing. Someone on the right level. I've never managed to find anyone on my level. RJ. Welcome.
I'm actually alright. I played this quite a lot. I should have done that. I mean,
Wait, have you got a scrunchie on your head and on your wrist?
Yeah.
You can see what you're going for.
I'm happy with that. Doesn't take me much to get happy.
Rescue the black.
Bye, RJ.
bye, Natasha.
It's like 8:30 PM and RJ's already leaving our house. Usually he leaves our house at like 1 AM. So 8:30 is like so early. I think because we had dinner so early. Everything's just early. Did you enjoy your breakfast?
Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have let you watch me. I feel bad.
Yeah, so today we are filming all of the moves for my new training program. I announced it on my Instagram the other day, and this time I've pulled all the plugs, guys. There's like over 300.
All the plugs?
I don't know what that means. I thought that was a saying. Is that not a saying?
Pulled out all the stops?
Yeah, I think so. I've got 2 hours until I can eat. Because I'm going to be there the whole time, the only shop that's around is like Sainsbury's, which means I'm going to be having Sainsbury's for breakfast, lunch and dinner, which is exciting. I don't know how many times I can have that ginger shot though. Usually like 1 a day it sets me right, but 3 a day? I don't know.
You're going to be hitting that toilet bowl.
Pulling all the plugs. We've hit new levels of, I don't want to say stupidity. Tiredness. Mario's gone ahead and thrown away my brand new Nike Epic Reacts, which are limited edition, by the way. I asked him to take the bins out. My shoes are in a bag and he takes them out as well. So now I know that anything I put in a bag
is getting thrown away.
It's getting thrown away. Who's going into the chat? This bin is so big, I'll fall into it. Also, I know that some people haven't bagged their stuff properly, so there's like rotting.
There's gonna be leakage.
There's like leakage and stuff. Yeah. This guy's got all day. He's parking in reverse.
Listen, I don't want to go into that bag and see they've been thrown away. So I'm trying to delay this as much as I can.
They're not in there, are they, Mario?
There, next door.
Sorry.
Wow. We're going to the depths of our building here. Oh yeah, no worries.
Should we stay here? What's going on? Yeah?
Oh my gosh, please. Oh my god. This is like actually, that's actually... This? Yay!
Right.
Yeah! We found the trainers! You're a lifesaver, thank you. What's your name? Flavia. Thank you, Flavia. Whew.
Jesus, my life is
Oh my god. I can't believe we just found that. Okay, right. Should we start the day again? Okay, take 2. Okay, so we're having lunch now. Weirdest way to work out, because every time I do an exercise it's only for like 5 to 10 seconds and then I just move on. I'm gonna get a chicken salad sandwich with a little whatever this is. I saw salted caramel and I ain't gotta be convinced for anything salted caramel flavoured. I need to get my dinner. So it's like 5:45. So actually I lost track because I need to have dinner. Then we've got to go back in there and keep filming. Actually, it's not that convenient because I would have just kept going. So on the menu we've got Greek salad, 2 fish, freshly made fish sushi, some raspberries and kombucha. Okay, so we've got a meeting now at 10 AM, which means that I can't have my breakfast because it just doesn't look professional if I have breakfast during the meeting. Which means that I'm gonna have my breakfast at like midday when the meeting finishes. Then I've got another meeting at like 1 until 3. So yeah, probably gonna have to cram loads of stuff in, like loads of food in.
20-minute eating window.
Yeah, not the most convenient, but we're good. I feel like my concentration levels are like, I feel a bit fuzzy. I'm not snappy. First meeting's over, second meeting is coming and I'm just gonna eat quickly from my Tupperware. So, you know, pre-planning. I thought this through. Okay, so that meeting is done. And now, what's the time, Mario?
3.
3, okay, so I got like 3 hours left to get the rest of my food in, but in like not intermittent fasting life, would have eaten at like 7 PM, but yeah, it's fine. We'll just figure something out. I just have to force it in. Okay, so I just finished up some work and now I'm going to make myself some dinner because I'm actually supposed to be going out for dinner, but I actually won't be able to eat with them because it'll be after 6. We're actually meeting them at like 7:30. So anyway, I'm going to make myself something really quick. I'll show you what I make. That's what I'm trying to achieve.
10 seconds. That's your last meal for the day. Come on.
6 p.m. Okay, so we've just arrived at Mario's parents' house. It's after 6, so I can't eat. I've already made sure I've had my dinner. So yeah, I'm just gonna be watching everyone eat, enjoying their food. And I know that it's gonna be so good. But that's the thing, I'm catching myself thinking about food, and I never usually think about food. Like, the only time I think about food is when I'm hungry. I eat, I'm full, and I don't think about food until the next time, but I just catch myself thinking about food. I don't know what's worse. Me just not eating what Mario's mum's made, or telling Mario's mum that I'm not gonna eat. Because I don't know if you guys are familiar with Greek culture or any kind of like Mediterranean culture. It's a criminal offense. Like, it's a criminal offense if I'm just like, I'm sorry, I can't eat. Because it doesn't matter how many reasons you come up with, they just won't buy it. Can someone please explain to me how it's already been a week? Like, I feel like I just started doing intermittent fasting like yesterday. How does the time go so quick? Anyway, let's just have a little catch up about how my week of intermittent fasting went. So, in terms of like timings, honestly, if I'm being really honest, I actually struggled because I don't have like a specific routine. So, in terms of timings, I struggled a lot. Sometimes I had meetings at 10, so I couldn't eat before, I couldn't eat in the meeting. That would push me back to eating at like 12 o'clock for my first meal. And then obviously some of my meetings finished at 6, so I'd have to eat before 4 if the meeting started at 4. So I actually personally really struggled with my intermittent fasting window, and I felt like 10 to 6 would have been the most realistic one. And I also felt like it was just more inconvenient for me because I was having to think like, okay, I need to eat at this certain time. I felt like it was an extra appointment, like I had to like schedule it in almost. I also found it like difficult at social events. I guess maybe you would make exceptions for that, and that's fine, but for me, if you are allowed to be flexible with your intermittent fasting, I feel like I'd always be making exceptions, so I don't know if it's particularly helpful for my lifestyle. So that's kind of how I felt in terms of timings and my lifestyle. In terms of how I felt in terms of like energy, to be honest, I didn't feel like I acclimatized to the fasted period. So even after fasting for 7 days, in the morning, I still get really hungry every time I wake up, and I still struggle to put out that kind of intensity in my training sessions if I work out before I eat. That's very, very normal for me, but I didn't quite acclimatize to it. And during the week, like, because I was having the same amount of energy, basically, I was having the same amount of calories, I didn't feel more or less energetic, like I just felt the same. So that was kind of like relatively normal. In terms of my mood, again, like I didn't really notice any kind of improvements, and I also didn't feel like I had lowered happiness. So I felt like mood was kind of very still. And the other thing I caught myself doing more of was thinking about food. Like, usually I never think about food, and I'm very good at listening to my hunger cues, but here, because I had more of a strict rule about when to eat, I just found myself thinking about food more because I wasn't truly listening to my body. So yeah, I did feel myself thinking about food more, which was just an observation. In terms of mental clarity, this one was interesting because this is one of the claims that I think people make with intermittent fasting. Personally, for me, it depends how you want to see it. I felt like I had a really good focused week of work, but I could attribute it, if I wasn't in favour of intermittent fasting, to the fact that the work I was doing was really fulfilling and I enjoyed it, so it was easier for me to focus, and also that I had deadlines. And for me, like, deadlines are the most motivating thing. I had deadlines this week, and that means that I was more focused. So that's kind of if I wasn't in favour of intermittent fasting, but then if I was, then I could have attributed like improved mental clarity due to intermittent fasting. So I think it very much depends how you look at it. The point of this video is to show how much you can bias something just based on your preconceived ideas about a certain like way of living. And then in terms of how I look, I didn't really notice any more changes. What I did notice was that I fluctuated in terms of bloatedness a little bit more. So in the morning, like, I looked more lean than I usually do because I had like a longer fasting period, but then towards the end of the day I looked more bloated at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. So I think it kind of evened itself out, but in the morning I did feel leaner than my usual mornings, if that makes sense. Overall, I didn't really find anything about intermittent fasting that I disliked based on how I felt. The only big issue for me was that it just didn't really fit in with my lifestyle, but that's not like a huge deal. So yeah, I guess if the clinical trials showed that there were like significant improvements on health, then I would consider it. It's just that unless there's like rigorous evidence that suggests it's good, I wouldn't change my diet for no reason. Like, I'd have to have a good reason for it. And even then, like, I think for me, the most important thing is to always do what works for you, and that can come down to how you feel, but also like lifestyle. For me, health and fitness is supposed to just help me live the life that I want to live. So if I start having like more and more rules, then I can't do the things that I want to do. So that would be a problem for me, just because those are my priorities. If you guys want to see me make the Science Explained video on intermittent fasting, then give me a big thumbs up. Let me know that you guys want to see it, and I'll see you guys next week. So I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye.
When it hits you, yes, 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 you shall. When it hits you, yes, yes.